One of the most terrifying things for a parent to hear is that your child's been sexually exploited, and one of the first responses tends to be absolute fury. It's like a mother bear trying to protect the cub. The first thing that comes out is anger, and it's helping the parents to understand that that anger is likely to push the child into further isolation, which is a perpetrator's dream, because a perpetrator's intention is often to ensure that a child is completely isolated from anything that gives them strength, so that they become more pliable to the will of the perpetrator. So getting parents to really understand this is key. So helping parents to know that every time that you get angry, every time that you feel frustrated, the perpetrator wins, because it pushes the child closer to the perpetrator and further away from the family. So it's helping to really rebuild the communication between the child and the parent to keep that family as strong as possible. And that's some of the really intensive parts of the work that we do. With the young person, we look at building everything within that young person that makes them stronger and stronger. The stronger the young person is, the less likely that they're going to be impacted by someone who's trying to manipulate and groom them. So the kind of things you look at is building their own understanding of their own core values, which gives them a lot of strength. We look at making sure that they're surrounded by positive peer influences, which again give them a lot of strength, that the family around them understand who they are, and they've got a good family relationship. We help the child to learn about the tactics that perpetrators use to manipulate them. So we work with young people who are at risk of CSE, both high risk and medium risk cases. We go out to see them on average at least once a week, and we do intensive one-to-one work with that young person, and we also do work with the parents as well. And the kind of stuff that we look at when we do one-to-one work with a young person is helping that young person identify exactly how they've been manipulated and groomed and exploited. It sounds massively intensive, and that's probably because it is, but you need to really get on a relatable level with the young person so that they can really start to identify the manipulative behaviour for themselves. Working with young people, you really need to get the young person to come on board with defending themselves really against child sexual exploitation. The work that we do is ensuring that the young person is as aware as possible so that they can safeguard themselves. No child ever wants to think that they've been exploited or tricked into something, especially in your teenage years. You only ever want to be right. So making sure that they have their own autonomy within their own decision making is really important. And if you just list facts of CSE to a young person, it's never going to work. So they have to be able to completely relate to what you're talking about in your one-to-one sessions.